Hello, spellers. Welcome to our spelling lesson for the 9th of March. Today is March 9th, as I just said, so 3 for March, the 9th, and it is 2021. It is spelling lesson number 79. Now, scholars, as we get started with this, just a quick note. If you are a scholar returning to on-site learning, this is your last spelling lesson for right now in distance learning, right? Because tomorrow, Wednesday, enrichment and catch-up day, and then Thursday, we are back in the building on site together. If you're on site with me, there will not be spelling on Thursday and Friday as we work on just building routines, going over expectations, making sure everyone's feeling settled and comfortable and welcomed back into the classroom. If you are staying in off-site learning, right, you'll be invited to come in by camera, and join the classroom at times. You might see that you have a spelling lesson posted for Thursday and Friday this week to do by video like you're doing right now. Or we might say you get a couple days off from spelling as well, and then we'll start posting spelling assignments for offsite learners next week. So keep an eye out for that. But this is the last one that you'll hear and see quite like this for everyone to be doing at the same time. Pretty exciting, and scholars, think about that. You have been for almost a year working off-site in distance learning like this. So you should be so proud of yourselves for every bit of work you kept doing, every piece of work learning that you did, every effort you made. You should be so very proud of yourselves. Let's celebrate that by doing a great job with this last spelling lesson in this format. Our first word today is suppose. Suppose. Now, as you're writing that in cursive, you have to be a little careful on the O and the S. S's off of O's can be a little bit tricky, but it looks like you're probably doing an okay job with that, right? Suppose. Suppose for a moment that spelling continued on like this for the rest of your school years. Would you get tired of it? I sure would. Suppose. All right. Pause for a moment. Analyze suppose. That's what you're supposed to do right now. All right, scholars. Suppose is a two-syllable word. Right? All first sounds, right? First sound of s. Is the first sound of u, oo, and p. And then p, o, oo. Name sound of o, oo, and z. Right? Second sound of the s. Did you catch that in your analysis? I bet you did. But suppose for a moment we thought we were finished. We would have this word wrong. There is a silent final E. All right, so we have two rules in suppose. You were supposed to find those when you were analyzing. We have the VCE rule, right? Vowel saying its name sound, consonant, silent E. Suppose. And the other one, say them both. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to really squish. Say them both. Suppose. Right, to spell, we're going to think suppose, but when we read this word, we just say suppose. That's what we're supposed to do. You know what else we're supposed to do? Move on to the next word. All right, scholars, our next word is forward. Now, cursive F's have been kind of tricky. Remember, backward loop. W has that tail in the middle. Forward. Your teachers are looking forward to seeing you if you're coming back on site on Thursday. Forward. We're also looking forward to seeing people at the morning meeting if they're staying off-site and coming in for the morning meeting via stream. It's a very exciting time, scholars. I'm looking very forward to it. All right, pause for a moment and analyze forward. All right. Forward is a two-syllable word. Or the or of corn. And then ward. R D. Forward. Oh, can you now picture that pirate captain saying, "Oh, forward to the island." Forward. Are you looking forward to being back if you're coming on site? Maybe you're a little nervous. That's okay. It's very natural for us to all be a little nervous if we're coming back, a little nervous if we're continuing off-site. Right? It's another new step for all of us because it's going to look a little bit different. We're kind of learning how to do a few new things, whether we're on-site or off-site. But scholars, remember, we're in it together. We can do this. In union lies strength, meaning we're stronger when we work together. All right, forward to the next word. Our next word is the opposite of forward. And it starts with a B. Cursive B's can also be a little tricky, so be careful. We're writing backward. K's have also been tricky, scholars. Backward. All right. Backward. Now, pause for a moment and analyze backward. All right. How many syllables in backward? Right. 2. Scholars, it's the word back. B. A. Did you remember to underline k? Two-letter k used after a single short vowel sound. B, a, k. And then the same word that we used with forward. Backward. Now I'm picturing that pirate captain making the crew member who accidentally sailed the ship backward, made that crew member walk the plank. Eek. Backward. Backward. So backward and forward are antonyms or opposites. Then, scholars, we have one more word to do that also has the ward in it. Toward. They walked toward the front of the room to recite the poem. Toward. Pause for a moment. Analyze toward. All right. How many syllables in toward? Yes, 2. And our first syllable is to. just not the number two. Two. Oh, third sound of the ah, oh, ooh. Two. Right? Ooh, ah, oh, ooh. Two. And then ward. Now I'm picturing that pirate captain saying, "Move the ship toward the treasure chest." Or toward another ship that it wants to rob. Eek! Toward. 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 Then, scholars, the bonus word. Our bonus word today is San Jose. San Jose. San Jose is the capital of Costa Rica. San Jose, Costa Rica. And I have my map back today. Here is Costa Rica, this kind of orangish red colored country. Costa Rica, San Juan, my goodness, San Jose is the capital of Costa Rica. San Jose, Costa Rica. In between Nicaragua and Panama. San Jose, Costa Rica. Then, if you would like to, for optional creative enrichment in this bottom space, you could make a picture, an illustration, something that would be hard to do backwards. And so think about if you were trying to do it backwards, right, with your hands behind you, maybe. What is something that would be hard to do backwards? Now, if you don't want to make an illustration of that and color it, but you're thinking, oh, I'd like to tell you something, you could, right, send us that in the comments. Say, oh, here's something that would be hard to do backwards, Mr. Long, or Mrs. Store, or Mr. Ritz. It's something that would be hard to do backwards. All right, then remember, scholars, the assignment is to open the attached Google form, answer those 5 questions about today's words. Click that submit button at the bottom of the form, send those answers to your teacher. And remember, scholars, we will see some of you back on site on Thursday, and some of you maybe just via Zoom for streaming into a morning meeting or continuing to work offline. All okay. But again, scholars, I want to thank you for your participation and care and work in spelling during this whole school year up to this point. Right? Now we just have a few more weeks together in this new format. It might look the same for some of you staying off-site, but it's going to look a little different for those of you coming back on-site, and that's okay. We will learn it and work on it together. In union lies strength. We are stronger together. And thank you so much for joining me.